It's good evening for me, but it's good morning for you, Russell Luyt. Welcome to Yellow Shelf.
Yeah, well, thank you for inviting me. It's nice to be in Oz.
Yeah, well, here's the wonderful world of our interviews. You're in the Northern Hemisphere. You find yourself in France at the moment.
Yeah, so my family and I recently moved to Paris, which is a
Yes.
great change, and I'm staring out in Parisian buildings right now. So it's really an enjoyable new change for me, for
Yeah,
us.
awesome. And Russell, a South African accent, so a global human.
Yeah, I lived in the UK from my early 20s on for several decades, and the South African accent didn't disappear. So as hard as I tried, I'd open my mouth and people would say, "Oh, you're from South Africa." So yeah, actually, probably I have sort of a mixed identity now. I suppose I'm Anglo-South African, and give me
Yeah.
another decade in France, and I'll be Franco-Anglo-South African. I don't know.
Oh, that's
That's the
fabulous.
modern world.
Russell, congratulations on your new debut book, The Midnight Factory. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's an exciting time for me. The Midnight Factory, as you'll know, is a dark and gritty, atmospheric dystopian story. As one would expect, it's set in a rain-soaked near-future world where a drug called Shimmer promises escape for people, but in fact, it really delivers control for the state. Its central character is Anouk, and she's a young woman. Her best friend is taken by the regime, and she sets out to save him. So far, so good. You'll recognize that kind of plot structure. But in doing so, she uncovers the truth about Shimmer and the people who profit from it. And also, it's a story about herself. She discovers who she is. So it's a story about personal growth, about self-discovery. Then the story moves purposely through sort of tense cinematic moments and quieter, more reflective ones. And it's purposely designed to keep you turning the pages, otherwise you'd stop reading the book. But it's also meant to make you pause and think. So at its heart, it's about topics that really interest me. It's about identity, about human connection. So how we get caught between systems that shape us and ultimately the choices that define who we are. So if I had to summarize, I'd say it's a story about addiction, which I haven't mentioned before, loyalty, and that sort of that key fragile hope that I hope we all carry with us, the kind that survives even in the darkest of worlds.
Yeah. And Russell, The Midnight Factory is, from what I understand, the first book in a trilogy series.
Yeah, that's right. So it's the first book in the Shimmerfall trilogy.
Yes.
The next book, which I'm starting to imagine now, or I started imagining while I was writing, obviously, The Midnight Factory, because of
Yeah.
course you're thinking into the future,
Cool.
is called Synthetic State, and it widens the lens, exploring other sides of New Albion and beyond, where the ideals, so it gets more into detail. The ideals of the characters begin to fracture, where people come to terms with their choices or whatever they may be.
Yeah, and so will you release those books in the coming years? Is that how this is going to roll? This is the first one. Enjoy this one,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
absolutely.
the other books.
Yeah, it's a trilogy. So I'm hoping to release the next one next autumn. So, and the third one the autumn after. So really a year apart. Partly because that's how long it takes when you're working full time on a book, and you have to go through all the editorials and
Yes.
forget the writing, all the polishing.
Yes.
So hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, the next one will be out next year, same time.
Yeah. And Russell, you told us about your journeyman travels through life. Tell us a bit about you. I read your working career at some point was a professor. Like, tell us about you.
Yeah, so typical midlife crisis, which I never knew was a real thing.
Oh, I've had
Yeah,
it.
exactly. And I wish people would talk more about that.
Yeah,
Not because it's a problem, but it's an opportunity. And
absolutely.
so I moved from that into to academic writing, and I've been really lucky. My partner really supported me.
Yeah.
Luckily, she's the money, so she earns a good salary, and she said to me, "Come on, you can do lots of other things. Go and do it, and stop being miserable." So if you have the opportunity, don't see it as a crisis, see it as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I grew up in South Africa, as we've mentioned, and I suppose some of the themes of the book and the idea really resonate with my early life during apartheid. and I grew up in a progressive household. So questions of power, identity, and resistance were really part of my everyday life, and then continued to be so when I moved to the UK with my studies and my academic focus, which was the social psychology of gender and masculinities.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
and so I'm really, interested in the fascination of how ordinary people survive, the choices they make and how they live in the systems that try, I guess, to define them.
Yeah. And Russell, if we're watching anywhere around the world, how do we connect with you? How do we connect with the book? Are you on any socials? Is there a website, publisher? Tell us the best way.
Yeah, so I mean, I have my own website.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Yes.
It's shimmerfall.net. I'm also on the usual social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. But the book itself is out. It's as always, it's in Amazon, but it's also on your local
Yeah.
bookstores. You can order it in, independents. That's always great, I'd say. Paperback, hard copy, hard cover ebook, and soon in a month or two, audiobook.
Wow, that's fabulous. I'm going to put some links in the show notes to make it
Brilliant.
easy for people to connect with you and find ways to get the book. Russell, no pressure because you're enjoying the launch of this one. But when the books come out in coming years, will you come back to Yellow Shelf and share?
I will, Joe.
Yay.
It's an honor. It's always nice to actually have someone interested. So, yeah, no, it's
Awesome.
super. And Joe, before you go, because I can sense that's coming, a shout out to my family in Australia, Bev and Dave. And I'll pass on the link to this podcast to them too.
Ah, awesome. Whereabouts are they located? Can you?
Melbourne,
Melbourne.
um,
Okay, I'm a bit further north on the coast, bit
where it's
further near
warmer.
Sydney. But yes, in this global
Yeah.
world, I'm very close to Melbourne at the moment. So yeah, shout out to the family and thank you so much for joining us, Russell.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks. Stay
Cheers.
well.